All right, you can hear me now. All right, thank you guys for letting me know that the sound wasn't working. All right, you can hear me now. All right, thank you guys. All right, thank. All right, we got the sound going. Woo! All right, so that was a little bit of a button. Still working through this. All right, guys. So here it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got this thing going. Only 9 minutes behind. Welcome. Thank you for just hanging in there. All right, this is what we're gonna do, guys. So I was covering here, and I wanted to show you a couple of things on the news front. There isn't anything exciting going on for today, so pretty quiet. We like it quiet. And so what I wanted to share with you guys is that Nancy Pelosi is at it again. So these are the positions that she just bought on the 17th, on the 21st, 22nd. What I'm going to do at the end of this video, we're going to cover this and see if we can find, some sort of strategy to her madness using the technical analysis and see if maybe we can find an edge on these positions, right? Because Nancy knows best, right? So if you like that, give me a pound and leave me a like. Now on the news front, like I said, there's nothing really going down here that I've seen. So pretty quiet. Barron's just kind of covering, you know, uh, what's going down with China. I mean, it's just pretty. Nothing really major here. On the news front, I know that Elon's at it again. He kind of spooked the market. He spoke about recession. So just know that's out there. And but not recession. I think we talked about recession probably at the end of the year. Q1, Q2. Now, notice that next year we're going into a new year, new quarter. What's going down as well is that we are going into a new quarter, new year. And remember, these are midterms. So usually the Q1, Q2s are pretty flat toward down on those days. So what are we going to do? Let's look at ARC now. I was showing this earlier. Tesla didn't go up. I mean, Kathy is still selling. She sold another 23,000 shares of Tesla off the ARC portfolio. That's what I was sharing with you. And she's probably just end of year stuff going down. But again, she waited till Elon was done selling to unload her position. That's why Tesla probably had a hard time going up. All right, so we're going to cover Nancy's positions at the end, but let's cover what the overall market is doing right now. So right now we're looking at the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell. As you can tell, the Russell stopped completely right under that 50-day moving average right there. That's ideally, that's the first thing I've noticed. Is it going to break through as well as these other two? So the S&P is having a hard time breaking above that 4808. Having a difficult time. We're having this sideways consolidation mode. If you guys wanted to trade, we gave you the levels yesterday. It was a sideways action. We're still in that sideways action. I think the S&P 500 right now is, if I look at Barron's has them at 47.67. That's where the futures are at. So if we go back here, that's going to put us right where we close. So now, end of year, is there going to be some, maneuverment going down? Are they going to start maybe selling some stuff for taxes going into next year? Because remember, new tax year next year. So is it going to go down or are they going to hold it? So that's still, but we got the level 47.70. If it starts kind of breaking down that, and we're going to dive into this a little bit deeper. But right now, the MACDs are mid-swing. We're like mid-swing. A pullback is imminent. I've been talking about that 47.43 for a while, and usually it's a breakout point that we usually retest. Okay. So now we have the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is pulling back again. And I saw the notes kind of creeping up a little bit. But this move isn't as strong here. So again, just kind of showing me the sideways consolidation. The NASDAQ looked like it probably wants to retest 16,000 at some moment. Okay. Russell's weakness here. So we're not noticing any pushes higher. All right. I don't think it's going to go higher end of year, but anything is possible. So let's dive into the VIX. As far as the VIX, we see something change yesterday. Yesterday we had a pop right at that last hour where we saw fear entering into yesterday's positions. Again, we're not, we broke 2 days high. We saw fear coming into the marketplace on the last day of the year. Now, is this going to continue higher? So 1855 is going to be your level. So if we start breaking above that, it's going to show a more severe sell-off than we normally have. So watch that one for any position positions to the downside. Now, this is what I was talking about the Treasury note. The Treasury note yield was going up a little bit going into the year. So, not alarming, but something you should be aware of because we're starting creeping up to the highs. So I don't think that's detrimental at this moment of time, but it also gives me a signal that the market is getting ready, bracing itself, because I think that next year, remember, next year, right now, the market is just chill right now, but next year, they're going to be like, hey, what is Powell going to do next week? That's the mentality of the market. What is Powell going to do? And is he going to raise interest rates faster than sooner? Remember, inflation is running pretty hot. And there's talk about recession and so forth. Not to do the doom and gloom, we're looking for the opportunities, but I just wanted to get us prepared because the market doesn't like unknown. So maybe that's why we see the Treasury notes going a little bit higher. So as well, we're already positioned here. We're going to get ready for what's before us. Now, on the S&P 500, as we noticed, we had this beautiful sell-off. We talked about it yesterday. If you watched the Morning Brew yesterday, I say, hey, these are the levels, right? 48.08 to about 47.70, right in there. And it was a great trading range if you wanted to trade that range, or if you want to sit it out, that's fine. So now, if we notice, this is the hourlies. We're going up, we're going up, we're going up, and now we're at this cliff. We need to come back down at some moment of time, or are we going to stay in this range? Now, if we start breaking below, we're probably going to hit that 50-day moving average on the hourly, which puts us right at that 47.43, 47.50 area. MACDs are showing us weakness, so there's no strength in the MACDs. So last day, ask yourself, are they going to take it up or are they going to take it down, right? Last day, I'm thinking possibly down, but anything's possible. How do we know? Well, number one, if you go back to the VIX, if we start breaking below 16, then they're probably taking it up, and we're probably breaking 48.08, right? If they're taking it down, then we're probably going to go a little higher, taking this up, and we're probably going to start breaking down that 47.70. So again, that is a good target for that to happen. You'll see the MACDs start working his way lower. Now, can the 15-minute time frame give us a little insight? Absolutely. And here is the 15-minute time frame. So on the 15-minute time frame, what are we looking? Well, yesterday we noticed that it was going up and it broke the 50, right? All paths leads back to the 50. And here's the thing, guys. Remember I told you, if you've been following me, we haven't touched the 50 for quite some time. And then yesterday we met the 50 at this sideways consolidation pattern. We broke a little bit here, but this is a break. Now, what could happen today? Not real simple. This could probably go up, and this might be another opportunity. If this goes up, maybe starts rolling over, and the MACDs rolls over, hits zero, that could be an entry to the downside, and it'll give you a signal that this is about to break down. Okay, so watch that for a play. On the 1 minute front, we don't look. It just looks like it probably needs to reverse a little bit, come back and set this up, but that could be a play for you if you're looking for something. All right. Let's look at the NASDAQ as well. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to another one here, and let's share. I'm going to share. Let's do screen two. Let's share that one. So on the NASDAQ, we're looking at the NASDAQ now. Okay, so on the NASDAQ, same type of thing. Okay, so we're looking at the NASDAQ. This is the hourly time frame on the left. Same type of thing. I said that the NASDAQ yesterday, we needed to come back to touch that 50. Now, what's going to happen at that 50? I don't know, but the MACDs are showing me weakness here. So is it going to break down? If it breaks down, it can come back down to these ranges of 15,755, back down to these ranges of 15,550. Now, on the 15-minute time frame, what are we looking at? It broke yesterday. So notice, same type of thing yesterday. It was in a sideways consolidation range. If the NASDAQ takes out that low of 16,398, we're going to go lower. On the 15-minute time frame, it looks like it's going to come back down. Now, same type of thing. If it breaks down, look for a retest of the 50 to roll over if that is the case. On the 1 minute front, we're looking at, if you want, it's just going to set up the 15-minute. That's what we're looking at it. On the Russell, same type of thing. Russell is what's happening. Hit the 50. So we're going sideways. 50 came up with that. It's showing weakness on the hourlies. Now, on the hourly, if we start breaking below zero, start breaking the 50, then that is a position to the downside. Okay, so on the 15-minute time frame, again, going sideways. If it can break out that 22.37, we'll probably sell off even more. So watch that. And again, remember, if we sell off, there'll be another time to get back in when it touches a 50. It'll be a dead cat bounce. All right, so that's what we got there as far as those things going on. All right, so let's go back to the other screen here. And I'm going to go here, and we're going to see if there's any opportunities for today. So now, so we got that covered. Let's go look at the overall the stocks that we share here. So now we have this is the 15-minute time frame. We're looking for any plays for today. So again, we saw the S&P 500 break down yesterday. So that was a play. If you were waiting and waiting patiently, we were showing weakness, broke down, and we went to the levels yesterday. Okay, what's going to happen here? Are we going to break through, right, or bounce higher and come back or stay in the range? So get ready. What I would do is probably suggest, if you're trading options, get your calls and your puts ready, have some to the top, have some to the side, and get ready to react when you get the right entry or you start noticing those things that we just talked about before. Now the Nasdaq, same type of thing, showing weakness. Russell, weakness. MACDs are showing weakness. It's not the time to get in right now because we're midstream. So just be careful with that. Google working its way lower. So even despite Nancy Pelosi working, buying those calls, actually, let's see, because I see Google working up a little higher. We're going to see if those Nancy Pelosi calls that just came out yesterday, is it going to affect Google? How do we know? If Google can take out that 29.50, then we know that's probably they're buying the news on Nancy Pelosi. Now, also, you got to understand, nobody's filed, all these states said they were going to file extra lawsuits against Google for antitrust suits, and they haven't come to fruition. So I wouldn't be, so again, maybe that's the positive new front. Amazon holding steady. Now, if we go down, watch Amazon, because Amazon's going to be the first one to go. Okay, so if we start coming back here, hitting that 50, right? Again, and Google's a little bit above the 50, so we're and Google's looking a little bit better, but Amazon's starting to hit that 50, rolling over. The MACDs come here, rolling over, starts breaking that 33.69, then Google can probably work its way lower. All right, now we got Tesla. Tesla working his way higher, right? We got a lot of pre-action, coming into Tesla, bouncing off that 1060. And I'm going to show you Tesla from a different point of view. Actually, let me see if I can show it to you from here. So Tesla's looking pretty good. So when I talked about Tesla, here's the daily play on Tesla. Tesla is holding that 50-day moving average. So don't be surprised. Buyers are coming in around that 50 days. So it's around 10. Let's say 1060 area. That's where the buyers are coming in. Now, can they hold it? That's a whole different other story. But and we're noticing that clearly that they're coming in there and they're buying it higher. Now, how do we know if Tesla's going to go? Well, clearly we're in a range. That 1096 is pretty hard, and then we have that 1104 to really get it going. So watch it. It's moving pre-market. Let's see if it has staying power. All right, ISRG working its way lower. Let it come back down. See if it comes back down to that 50 and roll over if you're looking for a bearish trade, possibly. CMG working its way lower, and I'm going to cover this as well. So CMG is holding that 50. Let's go back. So CMG is holding that daily play. So here's a CMG play right here. Let's see if we can get this a little bit better. But again, CMG has earnings next. The earnings season is also upon us. It's holding that 50. Can it hold? The MACDs are still working its way higher. If both these lines can get above zero and bounce, that might be a play maybe going into next week, and we're going to set this one up. Okay, so looking from a daily perspective. Now, if I'm looking at it from an hourly perspective, then what do we got? We got, it's coming up. All right, so we need to reclaim that 1750. If this can start working its way higher, that might be an entry, and then 1762 could get it going. Is that going to happen today? I don't know, but if this starts breaking down and starts breaking down that 1739, then we work our way lower. Okay, so we got that on that front. Okay, so now we have CMG. We got that. Let's look at overall. We got Lam Research working his way lower. Again, let's see what happens today with the overall markets. Goldman Sachs working his way higher. So still in that range that we're noticing, right? So it's still in the range that the overall market is holding on to. So is Netflix. Watch Netflix for a trade down. If this breaks down 50 going downward and bouncing off zero, starts taking out that 611, then Netflix can probably go lower. Okay, Roku. Roku holding strong. Can it have a day two? How do we know? Real simple. It has to take out that 638. If it can take out 638, then it probably can go. Right now, the MACDs are showing weakness, but if this starts turning and starts taking a crack at that 638, it can probably run. NVIDIA trying to work his way higher, holding at 300. Having a hard time. 300 staying in the range here of 305. How do we know the video is going to go? It needs to take out 305. 305, but right now it's staying in the range. Mercado Libre still going. Wow, look at this one go. Had a nice entry. Pulling back right now. Can it have a day two? If it pulls back, bounce off the 50, come back down, bounce off zero, working his way higher, takes out that 1360, then it's probably going to go. Now, if the overall market turns, watch it because it's going to be very difficult for a lot of stocks to continue higher. There will be maybe one or two, but most of them are not going to go. So if this starts dragging down if the market starts dragging this one down, watch it break 50 at 1338. It looks like it probably wants to come back here and see if that holds. Apple working his way higher, right? We sold off Apple pretty severely. That's why the S&P sold off yesterday. Now, what's going to happen at that 50-day? We have strong momentum going into the 15-minute time frame. Can it break through, or is it going to turn, right? So we'll know in the next, what time is it? About 35 minutes, we'll know. Trade desk, again, is it going to go? $95. If it can take that out, bounce here, bounce there, take out 95, it can probably go to about $98. And then it has about 100, 110 after that. All right, so here's the thing. Now, here's a page that moved. This page moved all yesterday, guys. So if we look at these bounces that we like, look at Shopify, moved yesterday. Affirm moved yesterday. Upstart moved yesterday. The same type of plays. Zoom moved yesterday. Same type of play. MACD bounced off to 50. Bookings moved yesterday too. So, and booking looks small, but these plays are pretty powerful. This is about a 40-point ripper. ServiceNow midstream, but basically we had on this page a lot of movers. Now, the key question here is, will they have a day two? So day two, meaning are they going to continue going higher, or is it going to sell off? Again, how do we know? Right now, we're right there. Breaking below zero. This looks like it probably can go down. If it takes out 1386, it's going to stay in that range of 1351. Affirm. Maybe they'll take this up. Look, I don't like the company, but hey, as a trader, you put your opinions aside and you trade the movers, right? So basically, if this can take out 107, if this can bounce, turn around at 103, 107 can get it going. So watch that and we'll see. If not, if it starts breaking down, it's probably going to go down to that $97. Upstart. Now, Upstart does have a component to it, that software. Lower working below zero. If it can reclaim that 155, start turning around, then this probably can hit that 162 again and see what happens up there. HubSpot went up too, working his way lower. Let's see what happens here. Is it break down? Then it's probably got 654 or 643. Now we got Zoom. Zoom can have a day too. We know Kathy was buying Zoom. There's like a metaverse, something which taking Zoom meetings in the metaverse. I don't really understand it yet, but not for me to understand, but that's probably why they're taking it up. Again, 192, if it can take out 192, it's going to go. If it can bounce here, bounce there, 192 can really get it going. If it breaks down, then it's probably going to go down to the 180. Remember, the overall markets, we're in a range, so there's nothing really popping, right? So the markets need to pop for us to pop a little bit to kind of have that explosive energy going higher. Bookings, again, just giving it all back. It's right there and back in the range. So make sure you trade them to the levels. If you're going to trade them, we're in a trading range right now until we start breaking out. So that's why we have to look at the XPX, the Nasdaq, and the Russell. ServiceNow still in that range. Coinbase, 260 to get it better. Now we look at the chips. Now here's the thing. Yesterday, Micron came out and they mentioned something which is a little bit concerning. The biggest thing I told you is that with the chips, you have to be careful of that China invading Taiwan news, because that can change everything in the chip sector. So with that being said, that's the thing that can mess it up. Now the other thing too, Micron said yesterday that was telling their suppliers or their customers that you better order chips because we noticed that a lot of manufacturers in China are shutting down due to this new variant or something like that. Which it was just mostly telling their customers to order their supplies now so they can be ready. Um, it's good for Micron, but it's not good for the chips because that's kind of signaling to the market. Well, wait, what do you know? Do you know something that the rest of the world doesn't know? So again, watch that. That's why we're seeing a little bit pullback in all of the chips. Now, okay, so watch that INTU 642. Looked like it's probably working its way lower. So just watch it. Next level down 637, pretty far away from the 50, but we're in this range again. Let's see if it breaks down. Now we got Qualcomm. Qualcomm tried to go, broke down pretty nicely yesterday, broke down to 50, and is working its way lower. Now let it come back to the 50 if you want to set this up for another trade. Now again, Qualcomm tried to go, stuck in this range, 182, 187. So it looks pretty severe, but in price action is only about a 5-point drop. ASML holding pretty strong. I still believe in the ASML. Remember, earnings is next year. These guys announced late January. So are they going to take this one up? So I'm still in it. I think it needs to regain that 808. If it's going to 808, then I'll start adding more positions to it. Now AMD working his way lower, right? From 156, dropped down about $10. Just holding steady. Let's see which way it can go. If it breaks down lower, now the MACDs look pretty strong. It looks like it probably wants to go up to that 148. AMAT working his way lower. Broadcom. All right, Broadcom, let's see if it can go back to that 671. Rivian coming back down, giving it all back. Roblex. So now this is the one that Nancy Pelosi talked about. Roblex right there, 101. She bought some call options. MACDs look like it wants to rip here. Let's see if it takes out that 101. It can probably go. I think the next level up here, it's going to be 106 and then 110 on top. So let's see if that has wings to go. Now let me cover Bitcoin. Bitcoin, like I said yesterday, trying to regain that 200-day moving average. There's a lot of people talking about rotation and end of year. Yes, possibly. I don't know. Price action. There's someone saying there's a death cross, which there is. I spoke about that. 50-day coming in, the 200-day moving average coming there. If this crosses that, that's called a death cross. But, when it comes to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is fairly new with the death cross. So this is what I'm going to show you. Here's a death cross. But the 50-day average gives you a better signal that we're probably going to drop. So if you notice the death cross, we only dropped not much since that occurred. That was from 42,000 and we dropped to 29,000, right? So roughly, what's that? About 11, 12,000 points, maybe 13. Now, when you cross to 50, look where we dropped from 56,000, we dropped to 29,000. So you tell me which one's a little bit more powerful. So when it comes to that, if that happens, can we break lower? Yeah. So just keep in mind, these are the levels. Now we're trading when it comes to Bitcoin. I'm trading, and so think about the hourglass. The hourglass, you have the sand coming into the glass. That's that, and then we have the sand going to the bottom, from the top to the bottom. We're trading the middle part. So right now, things you want to concern yourself with. This is the supply zone right in here, and you want to look at that 52,000, right? So that's the range that we're in right now, and let's see what happens. That 200-day average, that is a psychological number. Can we get above that? And it's trying. There's some selling pressure that's, so again, there's some stuff going down, but we're stuck in this range. Let this come back down. Be patient. Something big is about to happen. All right. MicroStrategy follows Bitcoin. Ethereum. Ethereum, again, that VWAP, I told you this was a supply zone right here. So we were at jeopardy. It's looking stronger. MACDs are turning around a little bit. Let's see if we can get this turning around. They got some whipsaw action going on here. Don't like the ways they're acting. So again, if I don't like my setups here, I'm not doing anything, guys. So I don't like the setups. We're just looking at price action, and we know where the supply and demand is right there. All right, guys, so let's get to it. Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi because I know that's what you guys have been waiting for, and let's check it out. All right, so she bought Google. Now, there's two types of Google, and I think the Google that she bought was this one, right? So she bought the GOGG. I don't trade this one. I like the GOOGL, but because she filed this one, we're going to see what she did. So right off the bat, let's see if we can break this down. So she bought Google. She bought the 10 call options up to $2,000 for 9/16/2022. So that's about 9 months out. So if we start looking at Google and So it was the 2000. So she bought deep in the money. So right off the back, as we can tell, the stock is sitting at 29.22 pre-market. Is this going to have the staying power to get it higher? So right now she bought it deep in the money. So she has about intrinsic value about 900 some dollars in change. So she expects that this is going to go higher, which is possibly. I'm a big believer in Google. They killed earnings. They're doing well. They're doing things, everything right now. But as far as Google, right now we're stuck in this range, right? And so people can draw a triangle here and triangle there. But right off the bat, using that price action, we're kind of like, in no man's land right now. It could break down. If the overall market breaks down, this can probably work its way lower, so that means that she's probably going to lose a little bit of money. But wait, she has time. And how much time does she have? Because don't expire till her options don't expire till September. So guys, I'm just going to show you what September looks like. September is here. So they don't expire to this date right here. And she's expecting the stock to go higher. So right now I think she paid, what was it that she paid? I think um, she paid 2,000 to call option, strike price at 2,000, expiration date. No, they didn't give me how much she paid, but we can get that information. But right off the bat, she's deep in the money. So right now, this thing, if it goes higher, then she's going to make money on those call options. So she's expecting the price to go higher by September. So again, Google has earnings, and remember, when earnings comes in, those options will gain value because right now the volatility is pretty low, and those options are going to jump in price. But she's expecting a big move in that price. So if we're looking at that perspective, she probably expects it to go above 30.45. And let me see if I can zoom in here. So right off the bat, how do we know if this is going to go? Right off the bat, looking at the dailies, and don't need to looking at hourlies or anything like that. 29.93 will be an alert that she is starting to make money and is working his way higher. We got some headwinds there, and we got some headwinds there at 30.36. So if it starts breaking up above that, then she is right. We start bouncing here, and the MACD start turning, right? Then we got confirmation that those options are gaining value. So that's a way that you can play that if you believe in Nancy Pelosi. Now, if you're looking at Micron strategy, let's see at Micron. Micron was what? It was $50. 100 call options, $50. Okay, so MU. So let's look at MU, and we're looking at this right now. So MU. Okay, so she bought the $50 call options. Okay, guys. So meaning that she's deep in the money. Those are probably costing her about, it's costing some money. And she bought some time here. So again, MU is a little bit higher, not the ideal place that we like, to buy it. We like to buy it close here. So obviously, she's not using technical analysis. They do have a dividend payment coming out tomorrow, so that's probably why people are buying it. And you probably expect a little bit of a pullback sell-off. So if you believe in Nancy Pelosi, what I would like to do, if you do, wait for it to pull back, wait to come to the 50 and maybe add to that position. And her position, if you believe, is going higher, then yeah, it's the expiration date on these things were 9/16/2022. So the same expiration. So remember, that's probably going to put us in third quarter. Okay, so they expect a big bump in third quarter. This one is a real estate thing, right, that I'm noticing is at Courtyards, Roblox, and Salesforce. So let's look at Roblox because that might move 100 call options at 120.23. So that's over a year, and this might be a metaverse play. So she bought, and I think she bought did she buy a couple of those? 100 call options of the 100. Okay, so those are out of the money on Roblox. Okay, so she bought them for a couple of years, a year out. Okay, so she's expecting a big move on Roblox. Okay, so on Roblox, what are we looking at here? So on Roblox, again, $100 is right there, and she bought this for a year out. So she's expecting this thing to go higher. So Roblox right now is working his way lower. If you believe that to be true, let it come back up to the 50, let the MACDs turn. It looks like it's coming to the end. And if Roblox breaks that 109, can really get it going and can go back to 141. So this one looks juicy, as far as from a technical analysis perspective, it looks good. Now she's expecting Roblox to go above $100 within a year, more than a year, right? So it's 123 on that expiration date. So if you want to join in with Nancy, you might want to join in on that one. So again, and then she has CRM. CRM. What do we got on CRM? All right, CRM has been hammered, hammered, hammered. So does she know something that we don't know? Let's take a look. All right, so CRM. What do we got? CRM. She bought. Did she buy? Okay, purchase 100 call options at the 210 expiration 1/20/23. So another year. So she bought the 100 call options at 210. So let's see. So 210, that's in the money. So 210 would put us right in here. She's expecting that this is a basing pattern, which, okay, I kind of agree with her. MACDs are turning. We have a basing pattern. Here is the bear trap. So if it can take out, well, there's two bear traps. If it can take out 261, we're at 250 wide. This could pop. And there's some headwinds at 270 and 276. These are going to be in conjunction with the 50-day moving average coming down. So I believe that this is probably going to, once it gets past those bear traps, it's probably going to meet the 50-day. And maybe does she know something we don't know? Maybe they have a contract coming up that's pending or something. But if it starts breaking at 50, this can probably go back up to 311. Now, she bought the 210, so those are deep in the money. We don't know how much they cost yet. Maybe I'll do a little more research because we're a little late to find out exactly the cost of those things. And how, if you want to position yourself to maybe trade like Nancy. All right. Thoughts on X? All right, cool. Got that. Thoughts on X? We're going to do X right now. So X, steel. All right, let's take a look at steel. Now, steel's good. Like, let's look at steel. Steel's been hammered. But right off the bat, when we look at steel, we're looking at the hourlies, we're looking at the dailies, the hourlies, and the 15-minute time frame. So right off the bat, what do we notice with steel? Steel's been going sideways for the last, since 2021 of April. Probably before that, it's been going sideways. So we know that $20, and then there's some demand at 20, and then there's supply around 30 to about 26, right? So it's just going sideways. So if you're trading that for a sideways consolidation, then yeah, go for it. But I mean, for the last 6 months, we had a little bit of a spurt here. This was October 22nd, 2020. And right now, is it going to break? Is having a hard time breaking above that. So if you're trading this to the upside, it looks like it's going to struggle here. If the MACDs can get above 0, that means that's telling me it's going to break above 50. But there's some headwinds right at that 2408. Okay, so watch that right now. Now, if the MACDs start turning here on the daily, and then it starts 50 starts turning, it's probably going to go down to that $21. On the hourly front, if you're trading for a shorter time frame, you can see the headwinds clearly, right? Pre-market $23, and there's selling pressure at 24. So, if you're going long, watch it 23. If it can start breaking higher, breaking above, hitting 23 and breaking that $23, probably going to go a little higher. 15-minute time frame showing weakness pre-market, so it's looking like it's probably going to go a little lower. 23, 22 can start really breaking it to the downside, and probably can go to 23.18. Probably can go into this area right here of 22, right in there if we start breaking down here. Lulu, all right. I like the Lulu. All right, let's look at Lulu. All right, so Lulu right here. Lulu looks, got hammered. So from 486 back down to 366. It's on sale. So the swing is down here, right? So we got the swing going down here. We saw buyers coming into this thing. So can this come up? Is this enough to get it going back higher? Possibly. We'll see. Right now, it's kind of forming this basing pattern right now. So there's a lot of headwinds at that 406, right? 406, let's call that one. It tried to break out this 404, but as you can tell, that bear trap failed, all right? That bear trap failed. So right now we're going to take 406 to really get it going. 404, Like what I would do is like just be aware 404 is looking good. The MACDs look like the swing is coming to the end. Let's see if it has momentum to go a little higher. So if it can take out that 406, MACD starts going up. It's probably on its way to meet the 50-day. Now remember that 50-day doesn't stay stagnant. It comes down when this starts going up. And then what happens there, look at the MACDs for it to turn. Now, if you're day trading this thing, a lot of headwinds, as you can tell, much clearer at that 406. We see sellers coming in, 406, 406, volume profiles at 401. If this thing starts breaking zero, it can bounce. So we're at a pivotal moment. It can bounce, and break through. Then that means we're going higher. Now the hourly is going to give you more insights than the dailies, so this is why we look at the hourlies. If the hourly starts breaking down, this hourly start breaking zero, then we're probably going to work our way lower. Okay, the 50-minute time frame we already broke, but this consolidation area. Too late to get into it. I like to get into closer to the 50. We're going short. Let it pull back. Let it come back to that 15-minute time frame. It will. Maybe not today. Maybe Monday. Let's see what happens at that 50-day for a trade, either up or down. 400 is also a nice round number. All right, guys. I'm gonna do one more. Hit the like for the extra. Oh, thank you. Now we're gonna do. Let's do hives. So HIV. All right. Let's take a look here. All right, so we're looking for HIV-E, sorry, not HIV. All right, so HIV, what do we got? So again, been hammered off that 560, hammered. Again, look at the MACDs. MACDs are telling you weakness, right? So they kind of gave you the heads up. Broke the 50 during the midstream, broke the zero line. Now we're coming to the end. Are they done selling this thing? I really don't know about this company, what they do, but right off the bat, HIV blockchain. So it's blockchain technology. Right off the bat, I'm looking at 318. 318 is the bear trap potentially. If that gets taken out, then it probably can go up to the 50. Watch the 50 can come back down and hit that 317. So that could be a very, very pivotal moment. MACDs are done, so it's causing a basing pattern on the dailies. Let's see what happens here. So right now it's just kind of consolidating, doing nothing. So I think that this move is already done, right? So now what's going to happen next? Again, let's see, and it's good. Probably if it's blockchain, it's probably due to Bitcoin dropping as well. So it's probably related to Bitcoin. Now on the hourlies, what are we looking at now? If it can't get above 50, if it can't break that 278. It's right there. MACDs are looking strong on the hourlies. If it can bounce, break through, hit that 278, it's probably going to go a little higher. How high? Don't know. Maybe 317, somewhere in there. Maybe $3, 317. If it starts breaking down right here, then it's probably going to go back down to that 257, maybe that 244. On the 50-minute time frame, just kind of chilling, doing nothing, sideways. So if this related to Bitcoin, more than likely, if Bitcoin goes higher, and I'm going to look at Bitcoin, if Bitcoin starts going higher, maybe this starts breaking up a little higher. I don't know the correlation, but I'm kind of guessing. I know the correlation between MicroStrategy and Bitcoin, but Hive looks like to see that same correlation as well. All right, guys, 917, we're looking fire, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being in touch. It's the last year. If you want to know the follow-up of these things, we're going of this show. I'm going to be on TradingView. The link is on my profile, so you can go on there and check it out. If not, guys, stay tuned. If we don't see each other for the remainder of the year, Happy New Year, and go out there, go get it, stay green, and again. Go out there, go get it. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. It's going to be a great one next year.